Hey, Grandma. Are you doing anything today? Is it okay if I come over to your house to see you? Right now?
Right now? Oh, heavens to Betsy, sweetheart, don't be ridiculous. You can't come over now.
But why? Are you busy or something?
No, Judy, look outside. It's raining.
Well, yeah, but so what? I could just use an umbrella or something.
Maybe if it were just a light shower, that might be all right. But it's a torrential downpour. Even with an umbrella, you'll get soaked. And it's also unsafe to cross the street in these conditions. Visibility is so poor that cars will never be able to see you in time to stop. I'm sorry, Judy, but you can't come over today.
I'll be really careful, I promise. So please, can I please come over and see you?
I would love nothing more than to see you, but why are you so desperate to come over today? The forecast shows the rain will stop later on tonight. You can come by and see me tomorrow.
But Grandma, I hate it here. I hate my mom. I want to get out of this stupid house. Can I please come and live with you instead?
Judy, that's no way to talk about your mother.
But she's the worst mom in the world. She's being super mean to me. She makes me stay in my room all day. She won't even let me come out to go to the bathroom. I have to hold it in for hours.
What? Is this some sort of punishment for something you did? Doesn't seem like she'd be that strict on you unless it was something incredibly serious.
It wasn't serious. I didn't even do anything wrong. All I did was go and see my friends.
And she grounded you for that? Oh, that seems excessive. Perhaps you went without her permission or against her wishes.
Well, kind of. I mean, okay, so there's this girl at school who I really like hanging out with, but Mom tells me that I'm not allowed to see her. The other day, we walked home together and spent some time talking at the park nearby before going home. Mom found out about that and went completely berserk.
I see. Why doesn't your mother want you to be friends with that girl? Is there a reason?
Mom says it's because she's too poor. She says that I'm not allowed to play with any poor kids because they would be a bad influence on me. But I don't care about that. I just want to be her friend.
So that's the situation.
What do you think, Grandma? Am I wrong or is my mom wrong? Should I stop being her friend because she's poor?
Judy, you haven't done anything wrong at all. You shouldn't base who you spend your time with on how wealthy or poor they are. That's utterly ridiculous. The only thing that matters when making friends is the content of their character. Not their looks, not their money, none of that.
I tried to tell Mom that, but she won't listen to me. Whenever I don't do exactly what she tells me to, she goes crazy. She'll start yelling at me, throwing things around the house, and sometimes she hits me.
What? Your mother is hitting you? That is unacceptable.
You see, Grandma, I hate it here. Mom says she's never gonna let me out of my room except to go to school, ever again. She's being really scary.
She really never lets you out of your room? Not even to go to the bathroom?
Well, if I want to go to the bathroom, I have to ask her first and wait for her permission. If I go by myself and she catches me, she gets mad at me. So yeah, I have to stay in my room all day, from morning to night, even on the weekends.
All right, I've heard enough. I'm going to talk to your mother for you. You leave it to me, Judy. Angela, do you have a moment? I need to talk with you about something important.
Huh? What do you want, Mom?
I take it you're done with work for the day, yes? I spoke to Judy earlier today. She told me some things that were deeply concerning and, quite frankly, disturbing. You need to stop being so harsh on your daughter, Angela.
What are you talking about? I'm not being harsh to her at all.
Don't play dumb with me.
What sort of nonsense has Judy told you this time? I can guarantee you it's all stupid lies.
According to Judy, you're locking her up in her room all day, and you've even been physically violent toward her. Why would you do such awful things? I'll have you know, Judy told me in no uncertain terms that she wants to move out of the house.
Oh my God, I don't believe this. She went and tattled on me to you? What a little brat. I'll have a little talk with her about that later. Anyway, she's just being dramatic and making a big deal of nothing. All I'm doing is teaching her a little discipline.
Discipline? You think this is about discipline? She tells me you force her to stay in her room all day, and you won't even let her out to go to the bathroom. That is going way over the line.
Yeah, well, If she would drop the teenager attitude and do what I tell her to do, I wouldn't have to be so hard on her. In any case, this doesn't concern you, Mom. But out of my family's business.
I am your family, Angela. I am your mother, and I'm Judy's grandmother. Judy was so troubled by the way you've been treating her that she asked me for help. So yes, this most assuredly is my business.
And that's another thing I'm going to have to punish her for. She had no business dragging you into this. For the last time, Mom, stay out of this. I'm parenting her in the way that I see fit.
Tell me, Angela, think back to your childhood. Did I ever hit you? Did I ever lock you in your room from morning till night? Did I ever forbid you from even using the bathroom? Where on earth did you get the idea to do such horrible things?
Judy's not the same kind of kid I was, Mom. You have no idea how impossible she is to deal with. She refuses to listen to a word I say. Obviously, a kid like her needs to be dealt with much more harshly than a good kid like me.
You have got to be kidding me. I'm not so old that I've forgotten what you were like as a child. Judy is far better behaved than you ever were. I have no idea where you get off saying otherwise. So no, there is absolutely no justification for you to be harder on her than I was on you.
I don't believe what I'm hearing. You think Judy is better behaved than I was? You don't know anything about her. I have to live with her.
I remember living with you quite clearly, Angela, and you were nothing but trouble.
Oh, come on. You're so full of it, Mom.
Well then, shall I give you a few examples of the sort of mischief you got up to? When you were in 3rd grade, you punched a girl in your class so hard that you broke her nose. In the 8th grade, you stole a boy's pencil case and returned it with all the pencils broken in half.
They both had that coming for being jerks to me. I didn't do anything wrong.
I wish I could go back in time. I should have made more of an effort to discipline you properly. I suppose this also has much to do with your father spoiling you rotten.
Dad didn't spoil me. He just loved me. You know, like parents are supposed to do. He wasn't always nagging at me like you were.
It was difficult for us to conceive since we started so late in our lives. Your father was so happy when you were born that he simply couldn't bring himself to ever tell you no. And as a result, you turned out exactly like I feared, selfish and vain. I can't throw all of the responsibility on your father, though. I share the blame as well. I'm your mother, after all.
Who do you think you are, anyway? You can't talk to me like that. I'm your daughter.
I'm telling you what you need to hear, precisely because you're my daughter. Consider this my warning to you, Angela. You need to treat Judy better, and you need to start immediately. If you don't, you will regret it. I'll make sure of that.
Are you really going to sit there and lecture me like I'm still a child, Mom? I'm not a little kid anymore, Mom. I'm not living in your house, and I'm not living under your rules.
Judy is not a possession. She's your daughter. Moreover, she'll be in middle school soon. She's more than old enough to make decisions for herself. You need to back off and allow her room to grow.
She's a child. I can't let her make her own decisions. Are you insane? If I let her make her own decisions, she's going to end up addicted to drugs, pregnant, in jail, or some combination of the three.
You aren't giving Judy anywhere near the credit she deserves. I know that girl is as smart as they come. You can trust her. Unless you let her run her own life to the extent she's capable of, she'll never grow. At the very least, she's more than capable of choosing her own friends.
No. She can't do that. There's nothing, not one thing that Judy can do by herself. She needs me to be there for her, to guide her, to lead her.
Are you really going to keep micromanaging her like this? Won't you let her have any say in where she goes, what she does, who she sees? You seem to have forgotten that your daughter is a human being.
I know exactly what you're doing, Mom. I know exactly what you're doing. You're gonna try and steal Judy away from me.
What are you going on about now? You think I'm going to take her away from you? Why on earth would I do a thing like that?
I always thought it was weird how much Judy liked you. Now I get it. You've been planning this all along. You're luring Judy in with sweet, tender lies, confusing her, making her like you more than me. All you can take her away from me. Well, I'm not gonna let that happen.
Get a hold of yourself. What's going on with you, Angela? You need help, dear. Please, would you come with me to a place where we can talk to someone that can give you the help you need?
I'm not gonna let you gaslight me like this. I'm not crazy, you are. Yeah, that's it. You've gone crazy. You're getting dementia or Alzheimer's or something. Go move into a nursing home or something and stay out of my life.
Angela, I didn't want to have to do this, but you may be leaving me with no choice. Would you like me to talk to your husband about this?
Don't you dare! If you even think about telling my husband about anything, I will never speak to you again. Leave me alone!
No, Grandma, it can't be. I can't believe that you're gone. Why? Why did you die and leave me all alone, Grandma?
What? What in the devil are you talking about? I'm still as healthy as a horse. I feel like I've got at least another 30 years in me.
Huh? Grandma! You're alive? Is that really you? Are you really alive?
If I wasn't, how could I be sending you these texts right now? Good grief, as if the last week hasn't been strange enough. Now my own granddaughter thinks I'm a zombie.
But my mom said that you... Wait, what's going on?
That's what I'd like to know myself. Could you please calm down for a moment and explain what happened to you?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll start over. So, I went over to your house this morning. I don't know, I just couldn't help myself. I wanted to get away from my mom no matter what. But when I got there, it was totally empty. You weren't there.
Oh, I see. I was out for the morning. That's why I wasn't home.
And then all of a sudden, I turned around and saw my mom running toward me. And that's when she told me that you were dead. She said you were dead and that I'll never see you again.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable first that your mother told you that, and also unbelievable that you believed it.
But I tried calling your phone and you didn't answer.
Yes, as I told you, I was out of the house and wasn't checking my phone. I had it turned off, actually. I was in the middle of a funeral for an old acquaintance of mine.
Oh, Grandma, I'm so glad you're alive. When I heard that you were gone and I'd never see you again, I didn't know what I was gonna do. All I could do was cry.
Don't worry, Judy. I'm going to live so long you're going to get sick of me before the end.
I'll never get sick of you, Grandma. I love you. I want to be with you forever.
I love you too, sweetheart.
I don't get it. Why would my mom lie to me like that?
I'd imagine it was to try and keep you away from me. Your mother isn't appreciative of how fond you are of me.
I'll never let her keep us apart. I'm gonna get her for this.
No, Judy, you'll do no such thing. You're going to leave your mother to me. I'll deal with her.
Really?
Yes, really. Before I do, though, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. Are you serious about wanting to run away from your mother? You're really all right with never seeing her again?
Yes. I don't need my mom. All I need is you, Grandma.
I hope you're proud of yourself, Angela. You told Judy I had died? You have no idea what kind of pain you caused her.
You found out about that already? That sucks. I would have really appreciated if you could get things moving in that direction, though.
Excuse me? If I'm not mistaken, you just told your own mother that you wished she were dead.
Yeah, and so what if I did? It's your own fault. You shouldn't have tried to come between me and my daughter. You should have just kept your mouth shut, like Dad always did back when he was alive.
Unfortunately, I'm not quite as much of a pacifist as your father was. I'm not afraid of picking a fight with someone who abuses their own children.
Yeah, well, you ought to be. Can't you ever just mind your own business? Seriously, go find a hole and crawl in it.
I warned you, Angela. Change the way you're treating Judy or else. From the way you're talking to me now, it would seem that you've chosen the or else option.
Duh. I don't need to change anything about myself. And I'm not afraid of your stupid threats.
I thought that's what you would say. Well, then I suppose I've made the right decision after all.
Huh? What decision?
One of my neighbors has a son who works in the local government. When I talked to him about you and Judy, he told me that I would be well within my rights to contact Child Protective Services about you.
You wouldn't dare.
I already did, and I already contacted Judy's school as well.
You what?
I knew that nothing I could ever say to you would get you to change your ways, so I decided that my only option was to take Judy away from you by force.
You have no right to do that to me. She's my daughter. I'm her mother. You can't take her away from me.
You may have given birth to her, but the behavior I've seen from you lately shows me that you don't deserve to call yourself her mother. You have hurt Judy both emotionally and physically, and I won't allow it to continue.
I will never let her go. She's mine. I'm gonna sue you for this, and I'm gonna tell my husband about what you're doing. He is not going to be happy.
You're absolutely right about that, Angela. He isn't happy at all. I've already told him about everything.
Oh, you went to the trouble and turned yourself in, huh? That makes my work easier. We're gonna hire the best lawyer in the state and sue the pants off of you. He went to law school. He knows a bunch of lawyers.
You don't understand, Angela. Your husband is very unhappy with you. So much so, in fact, that he's planning to divorce you.
What?
I realized when we spoke last that you weren't solely to blame for what you're doing to Judy. Your husband needs to rein you in. So I called him to give him a piece of my mind. It seems that he was leaving Judy's care solely up to you.
Obviously, yeah. It's my job to take care of her.
Yes, and you are failing miserably at that job. I told him that as Judy's father, he has a sacred responsibility to defend his daughter.
Oh, so he just took everything you said at face value? He trusted you over me? I'm his wife.
He didn't take my word for it. He talked to Judy himself. And when he did, let me tell you, it was quite the shock for him. Perhaps the most shocking thing was that Judy had never talked to him about you before.
Oh, now he wants to play the part of Judy's knight in shining armor. He's never been much of a part of her life before.
Indeed, which is precisely why Judy didn't trust him enough to go to him for help. He called me later on and profusely apologized. He seemed very sincere on the phone. He decided that the only way for him to protect her from you was to divorce you.
This is insane. The two of you are teaming up. You turned my own husband against me.
You did a fine job of that all by yourself. Besides, I didn't tell him to divorce you. It was Judy that convinced him to do that. She really, really wants to get you out of her life, it seems.
All right, let's say for a minute that he actually goes through with it. He divorces me and somehow wins full custody of Judy. What happens then? He's never so much as changed a single diaper for Judy. How is he going to raise her by himself?
He won't have to. I'll be there to support him. I'll be the one who looks after Judy whenever he's busy with work. That was a request of Judy's as well.
And how are you going to handle her? You're old. Not to mention, how's he going to make ends meet without my income? He can't afford the mortgage and his salary alone.
You don't think I was prepared for that? I'll be able to help him out with whatever he needs until he gets everything sorted out for himself.
Are you joking? You're living off Social Security payments. How much money could you possibly give him?
Oh, you don't need to worry about that. I've got plenty of money to throw around.
Wait, you do? You never told me you had any money lying around.
Yes, that was intentional. I inherited a rather large sum of money from my parents. It's more than enough to support Judy until she's able to start living on her own.
You had that much money? Why didn't you ever tell me about that?
Because you have the financial sense of a drunken gambling addict. Don't tell me you forgot about how I paid off the debt you had incurred back before you were married. I was terrified of how much worse you would be if you thought you could rely on my money to finance your lifestyle.
But I still can, right? I'm your heir, aren't I?
I intend to burn through all of my estate before you would be set to inherit anything.
Why? Sounds like you're the greedy one, not me.
I'm not going to use it on myself, silly girl. I'm going to use it on Judy.
Wow, Mom. Rao, you're really gonna screw your own daughter over like this? You're the worst mother ever.
After the way you've treated your own mother, daughter, and husband, I don't think you're in any position to judge me.
Screw you, Mom. I hate you.
There was a time when I would have been saddened to hear you speak to me like that. But not anymore. The time has come for you to take responsibility for the life you've lived, and I'm not bailing you out this time. Angela's husband divorced her a short time later. Thanks to the call I made to Child Protective Services, Angela lost custody of Judy as well. As for Judy, she still comes to visit me quite often, even now that her parents have divorced. Her father works late often, so she stays at my house for the afternoon most days of the week. I must admit it can be quite hectic to have a young girl like her around the house so often, but as her grandmother, it does make me quite happy to be able to watch her as she grows. She really is a darling girl with a bright personality, even after going through so much. Honestly, it's impressive how resilient she's been throughout this whole ordeal. That she even thought to confide in me in the first place is remarkable. Frankly, I don't see why she's so interested in spending all this time with a cynical old woman like myself. I occasionally receive messages from Angela as well. Unsurprisingly, she hasn't learned a single thing even after all this time. She still thinks she's the innocent victim and that it's my fault that she lost her husband and daughter. It gets quite exhausting having to have the same conversation with her over and over again. But I consider it a part of my responsibility as her mother to do everything I can to get her to see the error of her ways. So, burdensome as it may be, I will continue to rebuke her every time she throws some ridiculous accusation my way. If possible, I'd like to see her have a change of heart before I kick the bucket, but I'm not hopeful. I'm so glad that Judy didn't turn out like my fool of a daughter.